You're watching Across the Republic with me, Rakshita Mishra, where we get you news and ground inputs from north to south and east to west of the country. We will start this bulletin with story that we're tracking from West Bengal. Bengal is on the boil once again, viewers, and there is violence in Nandigram. There are tensions springing up and intensifying in Nandigram. Locals in Nandigram have now staged protests against TMC. They are in fact chanting "Go Back" slogans against TMC leader Rajiv Banerjee and several other TMC leaders. Remember, a BJP worker has been killed in Nandigram, and after that the tensions have only intensified. BJP workers have alleged that TMC workers are behind the killings, behind the attacks on the houses in Nandigram that happened late last night. And you can see those visuals coming in. Nandigram locals are raising "Go Back" slogans against TMC netas. That includes Rajiv Banerjee. That's the big update we're getting in right now. There's an absolute state of lawlessness in Mamata Banerjee's West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee's cops are cracking down on the protesters, lathi charging them. And the Election Commission has also taken cognizance of it. Remember, Election Commission has sought a report within 24 hours on Nandigram violence. So Bengal once again witnessing violence, be it on the day of polling, be it ahead of polling. We again see violence unfolding in the state of West Bengal. There's an absolute breakdown of law and order in the state. Locals are now protesting against the ruling TMC in the state of West Bengal. Nandigram on the boil, and we will get you all the visuals, and you can in fact listen in to the locals, how they're raising slogans.
নারী ধর্ষণ খুনি আহাজানি যা করছে টিএমসি যে তোর চাপাচ্ছে বিজেপি নাই টিএমসি সব দোষ করছে চাপাচ্ছে হচ্ছে বিজেপি নারী মারার খুনি ধর্ষণ যা করছে সব টিএমসি লোক করছে টিএমসি লোক করছে যে দোষ চাপাচ্ছে কিনা বিজেপি করছে বিজেপি
All right, viewers, so there you can see the anger among the locals of the area, the Nandigram, which is right now on the boil. And viewers, West Bengal, we are seeing time and again, day in and day out, there are news coming in of violence, of clashes. And viewers, we move ahead and we'll show you what happened in fact in Nandigram. We will tell you in this report. We have compiled all the ground inputs, and there is a political face-off, of course, once again unfolding. BJP alleging TMC's hand. Election Commission taking cognizance, seeking a report.
Pre-poll violence has struck Mamata Banerjee's turf yet again. The women of Nandigram are mourning. BJP workers are leading a protest march. Police personnel are stationed to disperse agitated crowds. All this while disorder and unrest consumes the region. This comes after a female BJP worker was brutally killed. The BJP alleges that the victim was killed and several others were left injured after TMC-backed miscreants attacked them. The BJP top brass has charged that TMC is deliberately creating an atmosphere of fear in Nandigram to intimidate voters. Bengal's leader of opposition, Shubhendu Adhikari, stormed the Nandigram police station today, demanding a CBI probe. while the TMC has maintained static defiance.
देखिए, नंदीग्राम में जो घटना घटा है वो बीजेपी का इंटरनल क्लैश का एक्सप्रेशन है, क्योंकि सिर्फ नंदीग्राम या ईस्ट मिदनापुर नहीं, पूरा बंगाल में बीजेपी का जो इनफाइटिंग है, ओल्ड बीजेपी वर्सेस न्यू बीजेपी, उसका ही एक एक्सप्रेशन यहाँ पर हुआ है। और तृणमूल कांग्रेस को मैलाइन करने के लिए तृणमूल कांग्रेस के ऊपर आरोप लगाया जा रहा है।
Have the concerns of the rural party workers in Bengal fallen on deaf ears? For how long can Mamata deny the state of law and order in her state?
Now we should focus down south, viewers. There's more trouble brewing for JDS MP Prajwal Revanna. Now, he remains on the run. The Siddaramaiah government has now written to the External Affairs Ministry to cancel his diplomatic passport amid this lease tape scandal. BJP leaders, on the other hand, accusing the state government of politicizing this issue. And in the latest, his grandfather and JDS Supremo H.D. Devegowda has ordered Prajwal Revanna to surrender before the police, warning if he fails to do so, he has to face his wrath. The ongoing investigation into the case, coupled with the tug of war between the state government and the centre, has unravelled a political can of worms. Take a look at this report.
The trouble is now mounting for Karnataka's sleaze tape accused and JDS MP from Hassan, Prajwal Revanna, as the External Affairs Ministry is processing the cancellation of Prajwal's diplomatic passport. The latest trouble for JDS MP comes after Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah wrote to the Ministry of External Affairs seeking revocation of Prajwal's passport. Speaking exclusively to Republic TV, former Chief Minister and BJP leader Basavaraj Bommai accused the Karnataka government of telling half-truth in the alleged sleaze tape case, and the BJP is up in arms against the Congress government for bringing Prime Minister Modi in the picture.
There are also allegations on the government that they have been involved in phone tapping pertaining to the Karnataka sleazegate scandal.
As far as phone tapping is concerned, the allegation is made by the former Chief Minister, who was a Chief Minister 2 times. And since he is such a senior leader and Chief Minister, with all responsibility has said it, the state government has to come clean. And who has to answer this? The Home Secretary has to answer this. Home Minister is saying that we are not done it. That will not suffice, because under the permission of the Home Secretary everything can be done. Whether the Home Secretary and Home Department has given the permission or not, let the Home Secretary clarify. Why is not clarifying?
Isn't there any due process that has to be followed before tapping anybody's phone?
Yeah, they have to take a permission. The police has to take a permission of the Home Secretary.
How are you looking at these allegations of phone tapping by the government against the opposition? These are massive claims.
See, actually, phone tapping issue is totally illegal. Only terrorist and other activities only can tap like this. But political leaders and others, they should not. In this case, actually, Hegde lost his power when he was a chief minister. This Congress government is always doing the same thing. See, now also, I feel that whatever ex-chief minister Kumaraswamy and our Ashok ji is told is correct, I think.
How should the government come clean out of this? Should there be an inquiry ordered into it?
See, actually, what is happening? Whatever you accuse them, they will not take seriously. They will give some, make some statement, they will get away from them. So this is not the way. Now, you see, there is a many hands behind this scam. Did they touch anybody to investigate? No. Just they gave the statement and washed their hands. This is not the way to handle things. But this government is not serious about anything except getting votes. That's all. They wanted to be in power.
Prajwal Revanna, who is embroiled in the sex tape scandal, continues to be on the run, and the case is being probed by the state government's special investigation team. But the political tussle between the Karnataka government and the centre is likely to escalate in coming days.
Now, viewers, Republic is keeping you ahead on the Pune VVIP murder case. We are leading the fight for justice and raising the questions that need to be asked, because this could be the biggest cover-up of India. 2 blood samples collected, Reports nowhere to be seen even after 72 hours. Forensic experts are raising some pertinent questions. And not just that, the VVIP brat who spent 45,000 rupees in a bar to drink drove a luxury car. His lawyer now says that the teen was drinking because of depression. Take a look at this report.
The Pune VVIP murder, a gut-wrenching case that has shocked the nation. The calls for justice continues to echo loud. Even as the minor VVIP brat and his father face the brunt of law, questions linger over a possible cover-up. 2 hospitals, 2 blood samples, and even 72 hours later, no report released. Republic's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami confronted Pune Police Commissioner Amitesh Kumar on why 2 samples were allowed to be taken.
Now, 2 issues on the blood report. Number 1, that yes, 2 blood samples were collected as a matter of precaution. Just in case one blood report gets tampered with, we have the other one with us so that it can be used. Number 2, let me make it very clear. Let me explain the legal position. Here we are not making out a case of 304A IPC which is a bailable offence with 3 years punishment, where we say that it was a rash and negligent act, that he was deeply, heavily drunk and under the influence of liquor, and he did not have the knowledge that this act would lead to death of people. Here we are making out the case of 304.
Sir, please tell me whether 2 blood samples were taken.
Yes, I said it has been taken, and
why would when one blood sample can prove that there is blood in the alcohol in the bloodstream, then my second question is, how much was the gap between the 2 samples?
See, first sample was collected at one hospital, the second sample was collected at the second hospital.
After how much time?
The DNA.
After how much time, sir? After how much time, sir?
Let me complete.
Sir, answer my question, sir. After how much time, sir?
The DNA sample had to be taken. There was a gap of around 3 to 4 hours.
So within 3 to 4 hours, you don't think that the alcohol can leave the bloodstream significantly?
It can.
Then why do we allow it to happen? Mr. Kumar, please answer my questions.
Republic also spoke with the forensic expert Dinesh Rao, who highlighted procedural error in the sample collection. Rao also said that collection of 2 different samples adds to suspicion.
Yes, Shubhangi, the most important thing is, especially in cases of this nature, where the question is alcohol and the drugs, the more important sample is not the blood, it's the urine. The urine is the best sample in all these cases. I just wonder why the urine sample was not collected. And secondly, blood sample we do collect, but because of the off-lives of the drugs, especially in question, possibly a cocaine or an LSD or a marijuana, this has got a different off-lives.
The lives of 2 families have been altered forever. In what seems like India's biggest cover-up, will the justice be served?
Now, Arvind Kejriwal and his party is in the news day in and day out, and for all the wrong reasons amid the Liquorgate and the Assaultgate allegations. The case of Arvind Kejriwal's apathy has surfaced once again. This story dates back to 2013, where a founding member of the Aam Aadmi Party was mysteriously killed. Her mother has alleged that Kejriwal was responsible for it. Here's a report, no more.
The Delhi police continues its investigation in the Assaultgate case, but the old skeletons have tumbled out. That speak volumes about the apathy of Aam Aadmi Party chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. This story is about Santosh Kohli, who was one of the founding members of the Aam Aadmi Party, who never contested elections but was forced by Kejriwal. On June 30, 2013, Santosh Kohli was mysteriously killed in an accident in Ghaziabad. Earlier, Kohli was also attacked by the ration mafia 9 times. As the issue of Aam Aadmi Party MP Swati Maliwal's alleged assault at Kejriwal's residence continues to heat up, Republic TV spoke exclusively to Kohli's mother, Kalavati, over the entire issue.
पार्टी का ये चीज स्त्रियों के खिलाफ का जो बिहेवियर है वो उसके लिए आपका क्या कहना है?
उसके लिए मुझे तो ये कहना है भाई इंसाफ मिलना चाहिए, इंसाफ मिलना चाहिए। और रही स्वाति की बात, स्वाति पोर्टिस हॉस्पिटल में रुकी थी मेरी बेटी के साथ, और जब मैं गई थी तो ये बैग उठा के नवीन जैन था साथ में और स्वाति थी, तो ये रोती वही बाहर लेकर के आई थी हॉस्पिटल से। मैंने स्वाति से कहा कि स्वाति क्यों जा रही हो तुम लेकर के, क्यों रो रही हो? कि मुझे अरविंद ने मना करा है, तुम हॉस्पिटल में नहीं रुकोगी जाके। मतलब कुछ ना कुछ बड़ा वो था ना, है बड़ा था ना।
Swati Maliwal's ex-husband Naveen Jain demanded that Arvind Kejriwal should undergo a narco test and alleged that many instances of harassment have taken place in the Aam Aadmi Party.
आपकी पत्नी का तो कोई रोल है नहीं आंदोलन में, ना लटकाने में, ना और ना ये कैसे, इससे फिर इसने पूरा षड्यंत्र रचा। फिर बात आएगी राज्यसभा वाली। अब राज्यसभा कुछ इनका झगड़ा हुआ है बताते हैं, तो ये मामला पार्टी पे कब्जा करने का था। और इस पूरा का पूरा फिर ये जो स्वाति वाला जो एपिसोड हुआ है, इसमें मास्टरमाइंड अरविंद केजरीवाल है, उसके माँ बाप नहीं है। उसके माँ बाप से पूछताछ नहीं होनी चाहिए, वो बेचारे क्या करेंगे। पापी बेटे से होनी चाहिए, नार्को टेस्ट उसका होना चाहिए, हाईकोर्ट के सिटिंग जज से इन्वेस्टिगेशन करवाओ। अगर स्वाति झूठ बोल रही है कि उनके साथ मारपीट नहीं हुई, उसको भी उठा के जेल में डालो, इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है। अब ये कहना बीजेपी का, ये बीजेपी का, इससे क्या फर्क पड़ना है।
What's more shocking is that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal continues to maintain radio silence over the Assaultgate case. The big question is, why is Arvind Kejriwal silent and shielding his OSD Bibhav Kumar?
And now we get you a story from Kerala where crude bomb makers are being called martyrs. And not just that, even a memorial has been dedicated to them. In an elaborate ceremony, CPIM in Kerala's Kannur unveiled a memorial for their party workers who died making crude bombs. Questions are being raised by the opposition in Kerala over this glorification and the party's open support to political violence.
In an elaborate ceremony, CPIM in Kerala's Kannur district unveiled a memorial for two party workers, Shaiju and Shibu, who were killed 9 years ago while making crude bombs. The memorial inauguration was held for bomb makers who were killed in an explosion at Chetakannadi in Kolavallur police limits.
And this particular incident has also resulted in a massive backlash with the BJP and the Congress criticizing that the Communist Party has glorified violence. But on 6th of June 2015, Subish and Shaiju had died while they were making crude bombs very close to this spot. And back then, the late secretary, the then secretary of the CPM, Kodiri Balakrishnan, had denounced that the party has any link to these individuals who were making these bombs. However, 9 years later, the party has officially declared them as martyrs, and the names have been published in their official party website as well. The party website also says that Subish and Shaiju are martyred while resisting the RSS in Kerala as well.
Facing embarrassment over framing the two individuals as martyrs, the CPIM has turned mute. Republic confronted veteran CPIM leader MP Jayarajan. He was not ready to answer.
How do you respond to this? Would you like to respond to it, sir?
Such was his blatant show of support for the bomb makers.
മറ്റു പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ ഇല്ലാതിരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത, ചരുമംഗലത്ത് ഷീരു എന്ന ഒരു സ്ത്രീ ഷൈജുവിൻ്റെയും സുവീഷിൻ്റെയും മൃതദേഹം അടക്കം ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള 6 അടി മണ്ണ് സൗജന്യമായി സംഭാവന നൽകിയ സ്ഥലത്താണ് ഇന്ന് ആ രക്തസാക്ഷികൾക്ക് സ്മാരകം നിർമ്മിച്ചത് എന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്കെതിരെ പേനയുണ്ടുകയും ചാനലുകളിൽ വാർത്ത കൊടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നവർ ഓർക്കണം. ഈ നാടാകെ സ്നേഹിക്കുന്നവരാണ് ഷൈജുവും സുരേഷും. അതാണ് യാഥാർത്ഥ്യം.
While the top brass of the CPIM in Kerala has refrained from commenting on the move, Kerala Congress leader Hebe Eden strongly criticized the CPIM's bomb martyr reconciliation.
that
Hebe sir, how do you see this now? They are giving the martyr status. They are recognizing the people, the accused who were involved in making explosives and political violence. They are considering them as martyrs.
This is not a new thing in Kerala. We have always seen that whenever a bomb blast happens, whenever the victims lose their human organs or when they die, in the initial stages, even though the CPM does not take it up or does not own it, at a later stage, even for the funerals or for the giving these kind of statuses, CPM makes sure that their workers are protected.
A controversy is brewing in Kerala over this declaration. The question is, will the CPIM leadership act?
And that's all that we could pack in this edition of Across the Republic. But do stay tuned just at 6:30 p.m. as we get you Prime Minister Narendra Modi's interview to news agency PTI. Vote and improve India's voting performance exactly the way Valvoline full synthetic oil improves the performance of your car. Switch to synthetic by Valvoline. And now switching to the next story.
Thank you, Rakshita. Coming up next at 6:30 p.m., the full interview of Prime Minister Modi with the news agency PTI, where the Prime Minister has made some very powerful statements that you do not want to miss.